What's going on, guys? It's Others here for question 2 of the homework. So basically, we've created our categorical variables. The first thing you want to do when you organize your Excel sheet, because of the way that you input it to the data analysis tool, is you want to make sure all the variables you're going to put in are the ones you want to process, because you can't have a break in the data, including hidden cells. And so in this case, I moved the kitchen quality outside of the range of data. And then the next thing you got to do is we're processing the data for question 2 based on the normal group being simplex and modern. So if the dummy variable isn't activated for duplex or triplex, the regression is going to assume that it's either it's going to be a simplex and it's going to have a modern kitchen. If you need me to explain that in different words, just feel free to reach out. So to make that easier, I'm going to get rid of my modern kitchen variable. And basically, this is going to be my regression here. The duplex variable, basement, triplex, living area, square footage. We're using that because from question 1, we did determine that we should utilize the nonlinear term: rooms, full bath, half bath, semi-quality kitchen, typical, and garages. So again, I'm going to go ahead and do a multivariate regression here. So my dependent variable, my y range, is going to be how much did I actually pay, and make sure you gather your label. Labels are extremely important in multivariate regressions, otherwise you'll have no idea what your variables represent. Alright, so to actually do this regression here, I'm selecting all the variables I want to run, and then Control-Shift-Down arrow. That gets my inputted X range, and boom. Alright, cool. So now this sheet here shows me all my regression coefficients. And what we find is that everything has a p-value, so that's good. I'm able to determine information if these variables are significant or not. Remember again, if you go to session 4's PowerPoint, how to do a t-test. So right off the bat, if the magnitude of t here is greater than 2, then it is considered statistically significant, and we can reject the null hypothesis. So that's kind of one of the first things I look at. Does this stuff make sense? You can also do a p-value analysis. As long as my p-value is less than 0.05, that variable is statistically significant. And in this case, actually, one of the first ones that pops off is living area is not statistically significant. Okay, so the actual question itself is having us interpret the coefficients, in this case on the dummy variable of a duplex. Right, so that's this line here, and I got a coefficient of -177,346. Okay, so what does it actually mean? So remember again that we did not create a variable for a simplex, and we did not create a variable for a modern kitchen. And that means this intercept here is assuming all other variables constant. The average cost of a house that is a simplex and with a modern kitchen is $244,801. And so when I have to interpret the coefficient on the dummy variable duplex, that's the assuming all else constant. If my place that I'm buying is a duplex, it will on average have an effect of -$177,346 from the off the intercept here. So that's typically how you interpret these coefficients. Make sure you have the right unit in that case. So again, the coefficient here is saying the effect of my property being a duplex holding all else constant is a lower price of $177,346. So that is my answer for A. For B, it's interpreting the coefficient of a half bath. So I go to this line here. This is my coefficient, $144,421. I verify it is statistically significant. Again, the interpretation here is holding all else constant, the average increase effect for an additional half bath is, holding all else constant, the effect of having a half bath on the overall price is an additional $144,421. Again, making sure you analyze what the unit is and what its overall effect is to your dependent variable. So that's the point of multi-regression, is you're locking individual effects off and you're analyzing the effect of one thing on the overall dependency. So in this case, I'm analyzing the effect of the half bath, of having a half bath on the overall price. So I hope that helps. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out.